Hello there, and welcome to our website here at Lead PPC. My name is Grant James, and I just kind of wanted to talk you through this article that you're probably reading on our website right now, which has to do with top 10 franchise sales outsourcing companies. There's actually an industry term that's used for this. I know a lot of people search for this term, and this article ranks for that. But usually we call them FSOs, franchise sales organizations. Sometimes people will say franchise sales outsourcing companies, but it's all the same. And they're basically these different companies that you can hire so that you don't have to just every franchise out there doesn't have to build up their whole franchise sales team. A lot of times, especially with emerging brands, things are pretty lean. You need a support team for the existing franchisees. You'd like to have some type of a profit. You need some marketing, and sales sometimes can be very expensive and hard to scale. And you may have someone that maybe you have turnover, or they get a different job, or like whatever happens. So a lot of times people end up turning to these FSOs, and we work with quite a few of them. I'm going to walk you through who I feel like are some of the best ones out there and some of the information I know about them. The groups that I know personally would be Raintree, Pinnacle, Franchise Evolution or FranUp, Revenue Catalyst, UFG. I don't really know Rhino 7 very well. I don't think I know Franchise Performance Group. I do know Oak Scale. And I've had some conversations with FranSmart. I don't think I've ever talked with Franchise Beacon, but these are definitely ones to be aware of, even if I don't necessarily have a relationship with them. Another one that's not on this list is Rep'em, REP''M. I would say my favorites right now, like today, are probably FranUp along with Rep'em. I also like Raintree a lot. Raintree we worked with for 8 or 9 years, and then they just got bought by private equity, and the private equity group said they had to take all of their marketing in-house, so we don't work with them anymore, but we've done a lot of brands with them over the years. I really like Brent and Linton. They're fantastic, especially if you have some type of a quick serve restaurant franchise. I feel like they're really good at restaurant stuff, anything with food, some home service stuff, and dog type of brands, which there seems to be more of those. Pinnacle is pretty good. We've done some stuff with them off and on over the years. They'd be one to consider. FranUp and Rep'em are both, I think, experiencing a lot of growth. Great people. They really know what they're doing. They're on the ball. Really like these guys a lot. Revenue Catalyst, these guys have been doing some cool things. I'm going to jump over to UFG and Rhino 7 along with Oak Scale. These ones are ones that they take a percent of your company, and maybe Franchise Performance Group does as well, but literally a lot of times they want to own like 25 to 50% of your company. They may even go buy your company from you. So if you're not looking to give up equity, maybe not the best partner, but if you don't care and you want to partner with somebody and just hand that off, and you want more owners in your company, then some of these can grow a lot. UFG, for instance, some of their brands will get several hundred and even some of them several thousand units, and they put a lot of funds behind it and just make it happen. I don't know Franchise Beacon and FranSmart very well, but they do show up on different searches. I've been to their sites, and they'd be other ones to consider. But I kind of stick toward maybe the higher part of the list if I were you. Let's see. I do have another article just on franchise sales organization. You can click on this link right there, and that can take you there. I also have some information about how to choose the right franchise sales organization. Some of it's, kind of generic as far as experience and expertise. The biggest thing is just niche. You may want to go look up these different groups and see what their existing brands are, because if you're doing home service franchise stuff and they've never done that before, or an education franchise and they've never done that before, then that can be a big deal, especially because behind the scenes it's a bunch of reps who are selling those brands on your behalf, a little more intense than a broker network, because they're basically outsourced like an agency for you. So you want to make sure that that whole team really has already had experience selling your type of a brand. Also take a look at kind of what other services are provided. Some of these groups do some other things like marketing and what have you as well, but most of them are pretty sales centric. Look at the costs. Some of them take a bigger chunk of the management fees, some don't. As far as costs go, also remember when you work with an FSO, I mean, a big chunk of our book of business is working with FSOs. Um, and that's because they have multi-brands. They need a lot of leads. They need high quality leads. They don't like portals, and they can't just live off of broker network leads because then people are paying double. So what do? They partner with agencies. We're like the best agency at pay-per-click marketing through Google Ads, Facebook Ads. So they end up working with groups like us. So just know that these groups are going to push you to work with agencies to drive leads through Google and Facebook, and they're also going to work with franchise broker networks. So just know that like they're not just going to create leads out of thin air. They need stuff off the internet because well over half of the franchise sales, I'd say, is probably closer to like 70% of all deals now come from online. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, you want to make sure you have good communication and flexibility. You also want a group that doesn't have too many brands. A lot of FSOs really only have like 3 to 15 brands that they do, and even the ones that end up getting 15 or 20, a lot of times they'll cut some of them and get back to like 5 to 10 that they're really selling well. If you do need help, feel free to reach out. You can call us here at 833-LEAD-PPC. You'll probably talk with me, or click on the Contact Us button up here, fill out the form, and you can actually book an appointment right on my Calendly if you'd like as well. And we can talk as soon as mañana, or you can just call us now. Thanks so much. Hopefully this article has been helpful for you, and hope to talk to you soon.